Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Act 3. We are delighted that you're with us today. On today's episode, we're doing a little something different, a little something magical to help celebrate the summer and to just, really lay back and have a little bit of fun. So we do hope that you will enjoy the program and that you'll grab yourself a beverage and stay tuned for our upcoming fabulous mystery guest.
I'm sitting on the edge of love and happiness. Never experienced such a moment as this. So if you got that good feeling in your body and you want to bring this moment to life, come with me, we'll hit the town. Let's go right now and live the life. I just want to shine like the sky up like a sunset, living with no regrets. I just want to shine.
Hey, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Glad you're here as always. The Craig Mckee is with me at the moment. We're going to talk everything about magic. Hello, my magical friend. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you very much for having me back here again.
I've loved the stuff that you do in our community for such a long time. It is an incredible gift to anybody who watches you. I've seen you've been on our program before. This isn't your first appearance, but this is the first time that you and I actually get to unpack the whys and the whats of what it is you do. We have our entire show is dedicated to this conversation today, so I'm just really, really delighted that we can kind of look deeper into the mind of the magician.
I'm excited to be able to share some insights on myself, on the industry, and maybe announce one or two things coming up in the schedule for our community to check out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what got you started in magic? How did you begin?
The honest truth is teenage arrogance and ego.
Okay, let's unpack that.
So in grade 9, my best friend, he learned a card trick, came to school, and absolutely blew my mind. Just set me right back.
Yeah.
As an egotistical teenager, I can't have that happen.
No.
So I went and I found my dad's book of card tricks, which apparently every dad has somewhere. Didn't know that, but I found it, learned a trick, went back about a week later, and I blew his mind. Problem is, as an arrogant, egotistical teenager, he couldn't stand for that, so he learned another one. And then I learned another one, and we went back and forth for about 2 years, just with no point or purpose other than annoying the other.
Perfect reason to start a new, area of your life for sure.
Apparently,
Yeah.
I wound up backstage at one of Shakespeare's plays that I was in, just messing around with some of the other cast members.
Yeah.
And one of their parents saw me and said, "Hey, why don't you come to our boardroom meeting in a week or so and do some tricks there, and we'll even pay you $50.
Oh, wow. First paid gig.
Right? And I went, "You can make money at this?" I learned it's more difficult than that, but that was kind of the launching point, and it's been an absolutely wild ride ever since.
Yeah. And, I would imagine that the technical side of magic, you really have to have a solid sleight of hand because, there is, or is there really such a thing as magic, or is there any deeper meaning or deeper ability that we don't know about?
So,
without giving away a trade secret, of course.
Absolutely. There's a technical aspect to what I do.
Yeah.
There's the countless hours of practice, rehearsal, research, study,
Yeah.
all of the effort that gets put into it. However, on stage, recently I've been referred to as such things as, "You're a movie." A young fellow recently called me on stage at one of the theater shows I was doing. He simply looked at me and went, "You're a touchable hologram."
Wow.
Now, they're putting these things together, and to me at that point, the skill and effort becomes completely mute. They are experiencing genuine magic.
Yes.
So
Yes.
is magic real? Ask them.
Well, I personally think it is, in my own opinion. I think that you have to have an incredible talent to be able to do that so effortlessly, so easily. And so I'm curious, is it card tricks that are your favorite? I mean, you have been accelerating your portfolio big time. I mean, let's face it, last year you were hanging upside down off of a crane wearing we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but I mean, you are up in the game every time.
I have some incredible leaders in the community and in the magic community on the island who are helping me push and push and push. As for what I do, I entertain.
Yeah.
And what I find that people love to be entertained by, that's what I'm going to work on. My rope routine has been with me since almost day one. And that has always gotten rave reviews, great reactions, entertained people to no end. So I specialized in that. Card tricks, I am very self-admittedly highly mediocre at. But hopefully what I perform with those pasteboards is engaging and fun, entertaining, and deceptive. Of course, that is my job.
Yeah, of course.
But is it a specialty of mine? I wouldn't say so. No, my stage acts are absolutely my specialty, although I am becoming much more competent at the close-up side of things.
Are you ever putting yourself in a position where you scare yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's talk a little about that.
So one of the ways that I do that is with a paintball finale that I have invented. It is based off of a legend in the industry, Scott Alexander. He came up with the initial concept of velocity, one of his routines. I took that an incredible leap forward, and it is now a 15-minute mentalism, magic, paintball fiasco. But at the end of it all, I have a spectator on stage with a full Tippmann 98 custom paintball that he's pointing at me after having fired off 6 rounds. He's now going to point that at my face, pull the trigger, and I'm going to catch that signed paintball in my mouth. So the first time or two you perform that, it's a little nerve-wracking.
So in my house, paintball was what we did in the back 40. And we played paintball in my family for many, many years. And those suckers hurt when you get hit by them. So you have got to be pretty darn good at your craft in order to avoid that physical pain.
The typical stage that I'm on also is not as large or long as the back 40s, so the shots are coming at a much closer range. So it's very, very interesting. And then I also do some of the more hearkening back to Houdini style escapes. And they're incredible. They're incredibly frightening to me because I detest heights. I can't do heights. I'm not good with heights. I do not like them. You get me on a stepladder. That is incredible.
I think that we need to start going to some magic now. I really do. I think let's take us to the stage and let's do a little magic and let's do a little bit more conversation because I want to know more. And I think our audience does too.
What do you say we pull out that rope?
I think we'll pull out the rope. Let's go get it. Okay, so as we left the other direction, you and I were talking about the rope, and I now see you with the magical rope.
Well, yes and no. It unfortunately is not all that magical.
It looks magical to me. It's a good color. Matches your shirt.
It is pretty, but that's about it. I also do have a ring. Now, I'm going to check the ring out for just 1 second. What you're looking for is any hinges, trapdoors, if it comes apart, anything like that.
Nothing like that. Nope.
Good, because it didn't when I left home.
Yeah, nope, there's nothing there.
With the rope, I did mention it's one of my favorites, but it does always pose a bit of a problem.
Okay.
And one of the main reasons is that we're used to rope being, fairly solid. You're able to tie it in knots and whatnot. The problem is that only works. You can only tie it in knots if the ends stay on the rope. Now, if the ends come off of the rope, then you're left with a rope which is not much more than just middle. And there's things you can do with that, but it's not as useful.
Look at that again. Look, it's now one.
So,
okay.
well, we've got the end.
Pay attention to our audience. I hope that they're watching every little bit of this. I'm on top of it and shocked.
With the ends here, we just give it a wave, a snap, and a tap. The ends will go right back on. We don't have to worry about those kinds of problems, which is awfully nice.
Very nice.
Now, once we've got the ends, we can tie a knot, and what I can show you is the world's oldest and most historically significant rope routine. This is the cut and restored rope. I'm going to cut the rope so I can put it back together again.
Okay.
This is also known as redundancy in the workforce.
Okay, this is true. I get that.
Now, the cut and restored rope is a stock and
Are you looking for scissors?
you know what? It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Oh, that'll work. The magical
Oh
fingers.
yeah.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
right?
Magic fingers.
Whoa!
Here we go. Just like that seems to work.
It worked very well.
Now, the interesting thing is whenever I do, company holiday parties and whatnot, I do that and they don't really clap.
Right.
They kind of stare.
Probably because they're shocked.
It's not really.
Oh.
The reason they stare is because they realize that cutting one rope with 2 ends into 2 ropes with 4 ends is not that incredible. It's something anyone could do at home. The hard part would be taking 2 ropes with 4 ends, turning it back into 1 rope with 2 ends when no one's looking. That's the hard part.
So I'm on top of it, and I saw like seamless. So you fibbed to me at the beginning over there when we were chatting over there. You fibbed.
Probably,
you
that's my
said
job.
to me that this may not be, your most. This is good.
You know what? The reason why I think a lot of times people think it's not the best is, again, if I go to a company holiday event, they've had a few wobbly pops and they get confused very easily. For instance, I'll put the ends in my pocket and I'll ask them where the ends are, and they usually come up with the wrong answer.
Because they're not in that pocket.
Well, of course not. Well, I mean, they are right now until I do that. Then they're not. Now, people don't realize is that the ends have an end. That's what makes them the end. Now, if I take those ends, I put them right over here, the ends are there, which means that the middle is over there, and that's just how things go. Now,
All right, so I'm discombobulated, and I've just been given, the sign that says that there's more to come, and that we're going to take a moment and come back. But I think instead of taking that moment, I think we should keep going for another couple of minutes, because I know we've got something to do with this. So show us this.
well, I tell you what, since we do have that indicator to go, we'll keep this short and sweet. But I appreciate you doing that, because I personally believe ring and rope magic is some of the most beautiful, most magical moments that there are, mostly due to its simplicity. When the rope and the ring go together, it's a simple matter of a twist.
What?
To get that to come off. You can also link it on, and then with many, many thanks to Mr. Channon, you can get that to come off.
Unbelievable, dude.
And that is a small portion of the ring and the rope that
The
I've been working
ring
on.
and the rope is incredible. And we've got so much more to show people. I think we should bring over the table. What do you think?
Let's get the table.
Let's get the table. I loved the rope and the ring. I really, really do. But it also reminded me that, when we were talking a little bit earlier, we were talking about the time it takes and the very many experts that there are out there. And you mentioned to me when we were sort of pre-doing this that you have just taken on a brand new role. How about you share with us what that role is?
I'm very excited to be, there's an organization that I belong to and have belonged to for many years called the International Brotherhood of Magicians. They have rings all across the world, and we are fortunate enough on the island to have IBM Ring 183, the Ernie Crockford ring. I have just been voted in as president, currently president-elect, taking over stewardship of the club in September.
Wow, how exciting.
It's amazing. The club holds some of the most incredible magicians, houses an amazing depth of talent and range of talent. We've got folks who are, grandpas who literally just want to amuse their grandkids. And then we have international touring illusionists. It's the whole gamut, and we pretty much just come together once, twice a month to further the art.
Well, it is an art, without a doubt, and so fantastic. Congratulations on your new post. I think that this particular branch is going to absolutely love having you as their lead. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But you know what? I want to do some more magic. I do. And so I'm thinking we started kind of a little bit of the round circle, and then we talked a little bit about your round pin. I think we need to do some round coins. Got some money, honey?
Do some round coins.
Let's do some round
I do.
coins, okay.
Now, these are 1949 Canadian silver dollars. These are
Oh my goodness.
just simply a preference of mine. I love the coins. I think they're really, really neat looking. They're a lot of fun.
Sorry, I have to look at them
Yeah,
because
you can check them out.
I haven't seen one of these since I was a very young lass. So this is very, very cool, just the fact to see them.
Well, that's one reason why I like them, is they
Yeah.
are simply neat. When I'm working with youth, I get to tell them that 1949 is the year that Newfoundland joined Confederation.
Yes, of
and
course.
the ship is the Matthew, which is one that Jean Cabot used to discover North America for the first time for Western Europeaners.
Wow.
And other folks as
And
well.
other
Anyways,
folks as
history's mired and all that fun stuff.
Love it.
And instead of a history lesson, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what a boat should do. I'm going to take these coins and make them fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Just not like that, 'cause that's just gravity. Nobody
I know, but
cares about gravity.
Okay.
Here's what I mean by fly, Kathy. Nice and simple. All three of these coins are going to be placed into one hand. From there, one at a time, they're going to fly into the other hand. This looks amazingly boring.
Okay.
If you don't believe me, check it out. First one's going to go. First one's going to go. Yeah, see? Told you. Boring.
All right.
The only fun part is when I show you that one has left there and has wound up there.
That is a pretty fun part.
It's a pretty fun part. It is.
Okay.
Now, I did say one at a time, so we'll have a nice clean shot here of 2 coins and 1 coin. And we just give it a little bit of a flick. And it lands right there, away from there.
Okay, so my eyes are popping out of my head.
Just you wait. The last one, of course, we tend to save the best for last.
The best for last.
Kathy, the final coin is going to join those 2. We simply place it in this hand here. I take hold of these 2 here. I give this one just a little toss. And catch it there.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. This is part of the close-up repertoire that I'll do at fundraising events, at galas, at banquets.
Yeah.
Sometimes I bring the table, sometimes I do mix and mingle, but this is a part of the repertoire no matter where I am.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm curious. Like, I know that I was very blessed to have you at my 60th soiree, and I got to tell you, my guests absolutely loved it. It was a unique experience, and it was something that so many of my guests had not seen in a long, long time. And so it was like bringing back that joyful part of celebration, and that's what really magic does, is it brings that curiosity to the table. And so my guests loved it. And I know that you also will do other events. So let's talk a little bit about if people want to have you come and do a show for them, is that still possible, or have you moved along and you're not doing that so much anymore?
The bulk of my work it's kind of split between what magicians refer to as corporate work,
Sure.
Which is basically the elevator pitch. Yes, I'm that old. Usually goes folks like Duke Energy, Telus, and Clerica will hire me for their staff banquets, awards ceremonies, and holiday parties. But I'm also doing a lot of in-house private events now as well.
Oh, good.
And then fairs and festivals have become an amazing portion. Relatively new to me over the past 10 years or so, they've really taken off. So that's been a very, very fun addition to my repertoire.
Well, it certainly has, and I know that in our next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the really scary kind of freaky magic that you and I were talking a little bit about in the beginning. How do people, though, we're going to make sure that it's on the bottom of the screen, if they want to reach out and have you come to an event or a party or what have you, can you give us an idea how people can find you?
Absolutely. If you go to thecraigmckee.com, there's a form there. There's also various pictures and a ton of testimonials. Apparently my clients love me, so we'll put that on the website as well.
Well, I think that's a good plan.
And then it's just a matter of shooting me an email or filling out that contact form. I am normally going to ask for a phone call. Verboten thing these days, I know, but if I'm going to perform for you, I want to give you the best experience possible. So I want to know why you're having the event and get into your goals for it.
You are now known for doing something incredibly outlandish. Why don't you share what you did last year and what the plans are for this year?
I'm very excited to be bringing back something that I believe I did for the first time on Vancouver Island, at the very least in 50 years, if not ever. I did an inverted straitjacket escape, hung up by my ankles by a crane in a straitjacket, and attempted to escape the straitjacket at the apex of the crane's height. It was an amazing event that brought a visceral family moment. The folks that showed up to observe it was all ages, and you could see that it created a huge, memorable moment for the families, and that's the goal.
And in all reality, it's terrifying. And I need to ask you, dude, like, what makes you want to do this again? Like, you were upside down, held by your feet, wearing what's inside of this box?
Inside of this box is the straitjacket.
Unbelievable to me.
Now, this is canvas and leather. I got her upside down there. There we go.
Oh my God.
And this is, it's a bit of a beast of a tool. It's a lovely thing. And the reason that I love this, again, it comes back to the visceral style of entertainment that we don't often get to see anymore. The Evel Knievel. You don't get those moments anymore.
The Houdinis.
It's an amazing thing. When I didn't hear it, unfortunately, because I was really in my own head when they started to lift me. Yeah. But a young lady was observing and just shouting all the positive encouragements that she could. You can do it, Mr. Mckee, you got it.
Oh, Craig.
Once I got out, once the jacket was off, apparently her brother started immediately yelling at the crane operator, "He's out, get him down!"
No kidding, right? And they have to, because you are upside down. I mean, the oxygen going into your brain. And also, when we first brought it out, you were showing me very quickly that this is testament that things don't always go the way you plan.
This portion did snap. Fortunately, it snapped at a non-critical, first off, non-critical moment, but also non-critical in the grand scheme of the jacket. But there's an awful lot that could potentially go wrong. I have a pup. She's brilliant. Ohana, yes. She's an amazing dog.
Yes.
I don't want to leave her alone.
No.
So I do everything I can. I have so many fail-safes. But in the same turn, it is being strung by your ankles and being raised 80 feet up in the air. And I do not start to attempt to escape until I'm at the full height of the crane. At that point, I do start the attempt.
So now, when are you doing it next? What are the dates?
This is exciting for me. I was positive last year was going to be the only time. This year, I've actually managed somehow to book it twice.
Wow.
At the Coombs Festival on Sunday, August 11th, we will be presenting this there. And then once again at the Cowichan exhibition on Sunday, September 15th. I will be there presenting this once again, and I'm working with my safety team to see about one-upmanship on this as well.
Thank you so much, Craig. That is just the coolest. I know that our followers of Act 3 will love seeing you at this event. So I think that is just, what a great gift you are to the community. Thank you so deeply. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate all you do for all of us. Thanks again.
The community has been wonderful to me. It's brilliant to be able to give back.
Right on. So I gotta just check this out and see whether or not it fits. I know that this seems a little unorthodox. I also know that a whole bunch of my friends would be very, very, very happy to see me wrapped in this straight jacket, but we do everything here with authenticity. So if you tell anybody that you've seen this, I will deny it, deny it, deny it. I'm going to the crazy house. Hey, you guys, I hope you have the very best summer possible. We do enjoy bringing Act 3 to you, so please enjoy yourself. Our guest today, the Craig Mckee, and magic, magic, magic. Thanks again for doing this with us. We had such a good time.
Thank you so much, and enjoy your trip.
Yeah, I'm not going to be held upside down. Like, that's one thing I won't be doing. You got to go to the show for that.
Yeah.
Oh. Thanks, everybody.
Alright.